The Lick'em and Stick'ems.
The Lick'em and Stick'ems. The Lick'em and Stick'ems.
There's an old curiosity shop. Every once in a while I go by there for the fond recollections that lie there in that old curiosity shop.
Oh my goodness, somebody pull me up a chair. A 1920s mahogany plant stand. Look at how beautifully made this thing is. Look at the lines on the piece. It's dusty. It is mahogany. It is in excellent original condition. It needs a little touch up. Nothing on it is really, I can't believe it. Are you kidding? Where am I gonna put it? Don't worry about that. Although I don't think I can squeeze one more piece of furniture into that 1925 bungalow. That's coming with me. It might be able to fit into a corner in the dining room, or it might go out on the front porch with a potted palm. Who knows? That is an exceptional piece. The quality is amazing. Let's look at it outside. I'm about to have a conniption fit. Do people still say that? Oh my goodness. I almost didn't stop. Quick, put it in the cart. Well, make sure she does her business before the game. Get yourself in. I know. I don't even know who's playing in that game. Well, I know it's the Phillies. I mean the Eagles, whatever it is. Well, look at what I'm doing. I'm out here on the street. I had my rear end stuck out in the middle of 13th Street with this typewriter. Now, yes, I'm a lot stronger than that, but underneath of that typewriter, I have a like 50-pound something else with the typewriter on top of it. Ooh, I am so excited because my boy Natan is gonna hook me up, which means I don't have to pay to park. All right, let me see. Oh, okay. So anyway, I'll tell you about this typewriter later. It's covered in dust, and I can tell you why. I have been lugging this typewriter around since I was 16 years old. And of course, just like everything else, there's a fascinating story. But underneath is an Atwater Kent radio, which weighs about 50 pounds. And that weighs about 30 pounds. So that's the reason why I'm pulling on the hand truck. So I'm getting the last few little bits and pieces out of my building. So there you can see, that's my roof. Well, that still is my rooftop deck. And that's the building. And then this building is not abandoned. Everybody always asks me about that. And then you can see, this is my favorite Art Deco building right here. And I used to live in that building right there. Yeah. Don't ask me why am I trying to move right before this football game. That is a book on Handel lamps. They were expensive. That is not a Handel lamp, and it was cheap. And I know that's not the right socket. Anyway, I'm getting the last few things out of the loft, and then I'm getting the heck out of Philadelphia because it's the night before the game and they're already going nuts, which is a good thing. I know they enjoy the game. All right, now, let me get all this in my truck. Forget what else I was gonna tell you. Yeah, I'm going to it's not a party, it's just a little gathering, but it will not be, it's not like Super Bowl related or anything like that. What else is in here? Ooh, the Sunbeam Mixmaster instructions. Ooh. Of course I would have that. Trust me to have something like that. Okay, that's it. One or two more things and we can cross the river into the woods. To New Jersey I go. And look what somebody did. Somebody did it. And it wasn't me. Yeah, I got hit there and I got rear-ended over here. This was a hit and run a couple days ago. And I was in the car when it happened. What are you gonna do? I was not in the truck when this happened, and that happened quite a while ago, so there's always something, right? All right, let's go. Well, I'm about to cart this mid-1920s Atwater Kent radio into the house. I've had it for quite a while. Made in Philadelphia. I've got the original speaker that goes with it inside, and this is the original paint. Atwater Kent made a lot of cabinets out of metal. Let's pop the lid for a minute and take a look at the inside. Boy, these are built to last, but they always need restoration. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 tubes. You have a detector tube. You've got your amplifiers. You've got the 3 variable capacitors here, but you've got one. See, they're linked. Yeah, so it's one dial tuning, which was quite a step over the 3 dials on the front on the typical tuned radio frequency set. This is a lot easier to tune. And here's your antenna and your ground. This is a set. This is an AC set. This is where you plug your speaker in down there, and then down inside of the catacomb. This is called a catacomb. If we could pop this off, which we can. No, I'll end up tearing my fingers apart. But this is filled with like a pine resin, like what you used to rosin up the bow, the violins with. They probably don't use pine resin anymore, but I don't know that. Model 46. This is filled with that resin, and if anything is open, there are guys that'll do it. They take this out, they put it in a toaster oven, and they heat it up for like an hour and a half until it becomes molten. It is a mess. And you pour all the resin out, and then you can get in and look and see if any, but look how fine the windings are. That's the problem. Atwater Kent Model 46. It looks, I don't see any mouse poop. We usually do. That might be, yeah, so anyway, I need to show you the speaker. All right. So the old parking lot attendant let me get out of there for free. That was awesome. But he knows, I'm very nice to him, and we used to always talk all the time. So his name is Natan, and he is from Kenya. So, but yeah. And you know, like I parked there for how many years and paid $300 a month. So yeah, I've got almost everything completely out of there now. That old Royal typewriter was in the high school that my parents went to, my grandparents went to, and my great-grandparents went to. I went to the new school, which was built next to it, but we had to clean it out one day. They were doing something with asbestos, and it was in the summertime. I was in a theater company, and they sent us over there to clean out this room, and there were like 50 of those old Royal typewriters. They'd just been like boarded up in this room. Those are the typewriters that were used to teach typing classes in the 1930s in that high school. My grandmother, of course, took typing, so that may be not that machine, but those machines, those typewriters are the ones my grandmother learned how to type on in the 1930s. And I've had it since I was 16. Well, as the sun sets in the west, I better get busy because I don't have much time before I lose the light. Where am I? Right here. Well, okay, this time I spent a little bit more than I wanted to on some of the items, but I think I'm still going to do okay. So let me show you what I got. Now, she's very crudely done, and I don't remember. I know I've seen her before. If she's marked underneath her price tag. I paid $7 for her, and I'm trying to remember if she's a Shawnee piece or not. She might be marked, and again, I didn't pick the sticker off. But the handle is not broken or cracked, and she doesn't have any repairs. Very inexpensive piece of pottery, probably made in the 1940s. Somebody's going to remember this being on your grandmother's kitchen counter or something with an old sponge or some little plant sticking out of there. So, and because she's not damaged, I mean, she's just dying to be damaged, I had to get her. but I don't want her to be damaged. Look at this. Now, I don't normally gravitate towards depression glass that is frosted. I'm talking too fast. But this isn't that the princess pattern? I know it's not showing up. No. Okay. Hocking, we see it in green a lot. There's a candy jar. This is an open vase here that was painted before it was sold and then sold that way. I wish you could see. I think you can just barely see. And if I remember correctly, it's princess. So 1930s, I'll clean this really well, and hopefully the pink, it's not that filthy, but I just know you're not seeing it very well out here. So I do like the painted effect on that. Look at this. Now let me open it. I'm telling you, I have so much luck with these. And you know, I do a lot of 1930s glass lamps that hang from the ceiling, chandeliers. Come on. I'm always looking for replacement slip shades. And look at this. These are right out of the 1930s. Now, they don't go that way. They sit down that way on top of a socket. You've seen them I've had them in the basement, so you've seen them before. So there's 1, 2. The fixture wasn't in there, but the shades were. Now, sometimes these lamps took 4 shades. Sometimes they took 5. It's very possible, and here are the other 2. It's very possible that these were in a ceiling fixture that had 5 sockets and 1 got broken. So then you either say, okay, well, either I have a fixture with 4 sockets or I sell these as replacements. Because there are a lot of people that have these hanging up in their homes, and somebody gets a stepladder out, they knock one on the floor, and it gets broken. I even was reading when they filmed Downton Abbey at Highclere Castle, whatever it is, that the film crew, they were swinging a boom and they broke a shade on one of the light fixtures there. Did you read that? I read about that somewhere. So, could be Macbeth Evans, Jeanette. They all made glass lampshades in the 30s. It's getting dark. Stop telling me about my warranty. The Arts and Crafts Movement, consulting editor David Rago, so it's got to be good, or Rago. He's the guy that does all the Arts and Crafts pottery on Antiques Roadshow. He has a great shop. I'm pointing because it's in Lambertville, New Jersey, and I go up there quite a bit. I don't know him, but he's the guy. He's the pottery dude. Look at that. I had to do it. I paid $2.99 for it. This is old. I don't know. I'm not a stamp collector, so I don't know when they started doing the lick'em and stick'ems on the stamps, but apparently this is the old way stamps were put in albums. They were just slipped down in. Now, I don't know that a stamp collector is going to want this. I really didn't buy it with a stamp collector in mind. I don't know their desired preference in housing their stamps anymore. There's only a few stamps in there, but I thought somebody's going to want this for something. Maybe a crafter could do something with it. So you slide whatever it is you want. Maybe somebody with little ephemera pieces. Anyway, it's just one of those things, Sometimes it's just one of those things, and you can't leave it behind. All right. That's all that's it. And now I've got stuff to do, so I'm going to say good night, but don't tune me out because there's probably going to be more after this. Take a breath. I went fast because the sun is going down. Did you like what I bought? Well, gosh, by gum, by golly, here it is. You can see that really all I need to do to it is a little bit of scratch cover and then a paste wax. I really like Howard products. I'm probably going to use a Howard mahogany scratch cover on it. and I will not be refinishing it. Look at the beautiful alligator hide. The scratch cover will take this out. I'll clean it first and then wax it, put a paste wax on it. The interesting thing when you look at this is it probably actually dates more to closer to the late Edwardian era, sort of the or like 1918, something like that. You can see the Art Nouveau influence in the curved line, like the lines out of nature. Yeah, it's not turned, it's not carved. We don't see the big fat bulbous Jacobean style that you would see in the mid-20s, but it also looks a little bit like Second Empire, although it doesn't have scroll feet. It would really need scroll feet on it to be a true Second Empire, but this sort of Bombay style pedestal here right in the middle is also typical of Second Empire tables that were popular around that time as well. And it might look black out here, the sun is going down, but it's all mahogany. And boy, is it well made. Just look at how, I mean, this is craftsmanship. Yeah. I didn't look to see if there was a furniture maker on there anywhere, but wow, that's just a really nice plant stand. So I would date it to, right around 1918, anywhere from 1918 to 1921, something like that. I know that's a tight window, but once you start getting up into the mid-20s, this is not really in style anymore. Wow. All right, well, let's go find us a Boston fern to put on top, or maybe a good old snake plant. Oh, maybe a potted palm. I can't believe I paid $25 for that.